What's up, everyone? Whiskey and I out here deer hunting. Anyways, we got important stuff to talk about, right? There always is anymore. It's ramping up. Please follow along, and if you find this information important or worthy, please share, and don't forget to like, leave your comments. But I gotta say all that stuff. I hate doing it right off the bat, but some of these issues are very, very important. There's lots of stuff in the news now, and I was I put the one video, I don't know if it's done yet or not, but anyways, I originally put it on hold that I was going to do because of the uptick in subscriptions based on a couple of subjects, right? And so I'm trying to stay on that and give the content you'll like, or subject matter, right? But meanwhile, all this real important stuff comes up, like for all of us, right? Because like there's a bunch of stuff, there's a big uptick in MC news, right? The motorcycle club culture getting into the news quite a bit here lately. And so I wanted to cover some of that, and we'll get to it or whatever. I'm always late, I guess, right? Because we will get to it, and then other subjects also, but there's just so much important stuff going on, and the thing is we're all becoming soon enough too late. Soon enough it'll become too late. That's just the truth, right? And it's practically there now, if we're going to be honest about it. And my claim is we're at war now, right? We don't understand. There's things going on right now that if it was going on anywhere else, we'd be bombing the hell out of them because we'd be accusing them of acts of war, right? Anyways, a couple of very important videos I want to share with you to bring some of this in together. So let's get down to it. Hopefully the lighting's okay. I'm having lighting issues inside the studio here, right? But we have, we gotta understand our media is, I don't know how to say this, how to keep your attention on it, right? But we need to okay, we're at war. Who is the enemy, and what types of weapons are they using against us? One is the media, right? We have proof of all this stuff going down with Asheville, North Carolina. And right now, I take concern in that. I got family down there going through all that shit, right? On both sides of Asheville. And, it's a struggle for them. And we got the media telling us, and they show us no proof of nothing, right? I'm going to show you a clip that shows that. But they show us no proof that they're doing anything. They just show us a video that shows all this equipment they have, but they don't show them doing anything. Meanwhile, we have people on the ground there. When that stuff, the first day, my brother sent me pictures as soon as he had some service. They've been in and out of service in his area. And still. And anyways, when he sent me that, I don't got the means to be able to get down there right now, because my thing is I wanted to get down there and get this all on film. But technically, I don't necessarily have to, because there's people doing that. There's people down there, right? There's people there, and it's a mess, and it's ridiculous. And the truth is, the only people truly helping people or trying to help people is other people. FEMA is not doing their job, and then the media wants to step in and say they are. This is how sick our nation is, how our society is, that it's gone this far, that people are willing to let things go like this, right? How many people does it take to let this disaster become a huge, worse disaster, right? all these people looking the other way. How many, right? How many people are involved in FEMA? How many people are involved in the local government down there helping FEMA cover the shit up? How many, you know, how far do you want to take it? But the thing is, we got the proof, people down there on the ground, right, living through it and showing us video of what's going on down there. FEMA's, or the government, however you want to say it, is purposely trying to hamper efforts, citizen efforts, and we keep an eye on ourselves anymore now, right? All angles. It's a mess, and so we'll get to this. So I don't want to get too far into it. I'm just going to show you. Now we got this guy that's being charged with terrorist crime because that's possibly going to be charged with that, right? Because he had a weapon and he threatened, supposedly, FEMA, right?
An update here. Authorities in North Carolina have arrested 44-year-old William Jacob Parsons of Bostic, North Carolina. We have the mugshot there. Parsons was arrested and charged with going armed to the terror of the public. He was armed with a handgun and a rifle. Here's what happened. The Rutherford County Sheriff's Office says this arrest was made after deputies were alerted around 1 p.m. local time Saturday that a white male had an assault rifle and had made a threat about possibly harming FEMA employees working after Hurricane Helene and that disaster in the Lake Lurie and Chimney Rock area. Those deputies alerted officers with the local police department and other agencies helping in those relief efforts. That is when FEMA made the decision to issue its stand down to officials. And again, just want to reiterate here that search and rescue efforts are still underway and that FEMA's disaster relief doors are still open, but there was a decision made not to go door to door at that time. Now, Parsons, the suspect here, was later identified by police and transported to the Rutherford County Sheriff's Detention Center Saturday, where he was charged and received a $10,000 bond. He made bond. He was released Saturday evening, while police had initially heard reports of an armed militia. After further investigation, it was determined that Parsons acted alone. And I spoke with Captain Jamie Keever with Rutherford County's Sheriff's Office this afternoon. He told CBS News that local law enforcement remains on high alert right now, but that their office is not aware of any additional specific and credible threats connected to this one. Of course, in this information environment, there are concerns that conspiracy theories and bad information regarding recovery efforts could spur further threats.
What do you say? Let me know in the comments. We should all back, okay? Because we know the truth that FEMA isn't doing anything down there, that they're making things worse. And that's the purpose. That's what they're supposed to do. Okay, this stuff's been talked about for years by me and many others, right? And this is what FEMA's job is to do, whether you like it or not, to bleed us dry out of more and more money and still do nothing for us. They're making things worse on purpose, and they will continue to do so. And that's where it's all at. And it's sickening. And so we have this guy being charged with, you know, like this. How much is FEMA being charged? Who's doing anything about it? We need to stand together, right? Now, let's show you, I'm going to show you these clips now of other things going that shows, you know, the truth, what's going down there. And then stick around. If you've seen some of that already, you already know it or whatever, just stick around. Fast forward if you have to, because I'm going to show you one other very important clip. Very important. They have now enacted the right for our military to take out American citizens on American soil. But pay attention to this and then we'll get to that.
In the next 2 minutes, they have absolutely zero proof of, and yet they're still putting it out on the news. And yet we've got people on the ground, people of all walks of lives that are literally filming from the disaster area, showing things like Black Hawk helicopters literally rotor washing all the donations away. And people are like, oh, that's not true. That's not accurate. Really? Because the Connecticut National Guard is the one that called this out. They said that is a North Carolina National Guard helicopter with its transponder off that came over, purposefully sat and hovered over the general donation area and completely smoked these people. Do you know what rotor wash is? Well, it sucks. But according to the mainstream media, FEMA's the victim now.
This morning, growing safety fears for government workers in Western North Carolina, supporting ongoing recovery efforts from Hurricane Helene. According to the Washington Post, an urgent message was sent to numerous federal agencies on Saturday, warning FEMA has advised all federal responders in Rutherford County, North Carolina, to stand down and evacuate the county immediately, adding that National Guard troops had come across trucks of armed militia, saying they were out hunting FEMA. NBC News has not seen the email cited by the Post, and it's unclear whether the threat mentioned was seen as credible.
So what you just heard is an absolute lie. Everybody on the ground that could somehow get themselves a cell phone signal or manage to get to a location where they could get a cell phone signal has been putting out real-time, as it happened information. And every time, FEMA has been nowhere to be found. Glenn Beck went down there with a congressman, and they found a FEMA truck that was literally like hiding for the day. You can Google that yourself. But here's the deal. These guys are lying to you, and all we're hearing through this entire presidential campaign is the word misinformation. Anything that makes them look bad, misinformation, and yet they're running a story like this right now with not one single solitary shred of proof other than FEMA making claims. There's no video, there's no nothing. How is that possible? These people live in an area that has literally been washed off the face of the map, and some people are still finding a way to garner a cell phone signal. But yet with FEMA coming out saying American citizens are actively posseing up and hunting them down, it's amazing. You'd have a literal better chance of hunting down Bigfoot in North Carolina than finding FEMA actually doing what they're supposed to in North Carolina. This happens every single solitary time, and it's not mismanagement in any way whatsoever at all. You want to know what's really going on in North Carolina? Well, listen to this young lady, because she's been boots on the ground since day one, and sounds like she ain't going anywhere anytime soon. And no, it's not her.
Whatever you think you know about Western North Carolina and what's going on over there, you're wrong, unless you're there. I've debated on if I even wanted to make this video because I don't really want to start a bunch of conspiracy theories, or I do feel like word needs to get out about what is actually happening that news is not covering. So here's the facts. I have been assisting with running missions and dispatch for an operations team there for the last week. And last week, I was assisting running those missions in Ashe County. I've been in Swannanoa this week, and we've been running 70 missions a day, getting help to these people that are not being helped right now. So when I tell you this is firsthand knowledge, this is firsthand knowledge. The death toll of 200 or 200-ish is what's being reported right now. That's not accurate. My organization sent out 10,000 body bags to local authorities this week, and they're requesting more. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that all 10,000 of those has been used, but it does mean that they're finding a need, and that they're thinking that they're going to need more. I will tell you, we've spoken to some of the funeral homes and refrigeration truck companies that have been brought in, and there's, 1,000 in this town, 800 in this town, 500 in this town, and we're finding more bodies every day.
All right, to make you sick or what? It's just, who's going to hold them accountable, huh? Who's going to charge them with crimes, right? Now, let me show you this. We need to all wake up, and, you can call it fear porn or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to tell you right now, you should be afraid, right? You should consider these things that are going on. And now let's show you this clip from our pal Ron Paul, right? Ron Paul, America should be slapping itself in the face right now for the fact that they allowed it to go the way they did that Ron Paul didn't get in there.
Yeah, and honestly, when you first sent it over, I started over the weekend. I was looking at it and I thought, surely this is a hysterical exaggeration. This guy, you can actually put up that first link if you can in a second when you get back over there. But I thought for sure this was someone just kind of, a little bit too conspiratorial. So here it is. Now, Zero Hedge picked it up from Armageddon Pros, which is a Substack which they often run. It says, U.S. military now authorized to kill Americans on U.S. soil? Just ahead, intriguingly, of November elections, and that was my second thought. The military has granted itself permission to unleash lethal force on the civilian population. Again, I thought this has got to be an exaggeration, so I went and looked, and actually go to the next one because this explains what it is. Now, it's not a law. It's a DOD directive. So this is, the administrative state where they take over. They don't pass laws. They are laws unto themselves. Go to the next one if you can, because this is what they're talking about. And I went and I read this secondly, and it talks about a reissued DOD directive that was reissued just on September 27th, 2024. It governs the Department of Defense intelligence activities and now includes provisions authorizing lethal force in certain circumstances. And it supplants the 2016 version, which did not mention that. So I read all of this too, which is someone else's analysis. I said, okay, this sounds even more troubling. I want to go look at the document itself. And so go to the next one. I actually went and looked at the DOD directive. It's DOD Directive 5240.01, DOD intelligence and intelligence related activities and defense intelligence component assistance to law enforcement agencies, et cetera, and other civil authorities, September 27th. Now go to the next one. I'm just going to get to this really quick so I can, just so people, this is on their own website. Now this is section 3 of that directive, assistance to law enforcement agencies and other civil authorities. Now go to the next one. Now this is levels of authority. This is section 3.3. Defense intelligence components may provide personnel to assist a federal department or agency, including a federal law enforcement agency or a state or local law enforcement agency, when lives are in danger in response to such a request for such assistance in accordance with the following approval authorities. Now here are the authorities. I'm sorry to get so far into the woods here, but go to the next one. Now you go down here to section C, assistance in responding with assets with potential for lethality. And I underlined this, I highlighted it, or any situation where it is reasonably foreseeable that providing the requested assistance may involve the use of force that is likely to result in lethal force, including death or serious bodily injury. I'm sorry to bog the discussion down with that, Dr. Wall, but I really wanted to hone in on this is their actual document. It's not just someone's analysis.
Both parties have used it, one party more than the other, and that is the use of violence.
Are you paying attention yet? Are your eyes open yet? What do you think about that? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep all of his commandments. For this is the whole duty of man. For God will bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. See ya.